What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Young Moguls podcast, where we keep it real, relatable, and super motivational. It's your girl, Reagan.
And it's your boy, Real MJ Hill. And today, y'all, we have NITI SARRAN. I'm telling y'all, 16 years old, growing her net worth to 60,000. Look, y'all, I didn't look through her Instagram. I didn't look at some of her interviews on YouTube. Y'all, she's doing her thing, and I know she got a lot to offer. I know she has a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation to bring y'all and a lot of gems to drop on y'all, too. And I'm telling y'all, her course, all that. She got a lot of things to drop on y'all. So, look, y'all, I'm going to let NITI take it away. NITI, just to get it started off, just tell us, you know what I'm saying, how your day was, and then you can take it away.
Yeah, of course. First of all, I want to thank the both of you for having me. I appreciate that. Appreciate you having me on. It's my pleasure, honestly, to be having this conversation with you guys. And yeah, my day's been good. It's been pretty productive Sunday. I've been I got this new course from, I don't know if you know Dantes Akram, but I got
Oh,
this,
yeah, yeah.
one of the courses that he dropped. I got his new course, and I was just spending time on that. And I got a new product that I'm launching near Black Friday, so I was working on that as well. But yeah, it's been a pretty productive Sunday. Yeah.
Most definitely,
That's
most
awesome.
definitely. And actually talking about how you just got Dante's Akron course, right? Like, you're very, like, we understand, because you know what I'm saying, we 16, like, we doing what you're doing. So, like, we're on the same level. But, like, can you tell, you know what I'm saying, our audience, like, how important it is to really invest in the knowledge, in the education?
Yeah.
It's super important to invest in yourself, because it's like most of the information that we get is usually from the school system,
Yeah.
especially teenagers, young millennials. You're learning what you're learning from high school and like college, right? And a lot of these courses that they teach in these schools, either people are not going to take it so seriously, or it's just they're not teaching the right information that you really need in life. You know, you see all these memes going around about like, is the Pythagorean theorem going to help me with like taxes and buying a house and stuff
Right.
like that, right? And it's like, that's not really going to help you. So it's really important to find people who, because the goal is really to have freedom, to have time freedom. I feel like this generation, especially, is starting to learn the importance of like getting out of a job and learning to run your own thing and learning to become independent on yourself. So it's like the only way to do that, there's several ways to do that. So many infinite possibilities to do that. But the way to learn how to do that and open your mind to do that is to start investing in people, coaches, mentors, who already have done what you're trying to do, because a lot of these college professors, like, there's nothing against college. I'm going to college when I get
Yeah.
older,
Mhm.
like in 2 years, but like a lot of these college professors haven't run a business themselves, so how would they
Right.
really know what to teach you? So that's why I'm heavy on social media, and I'm learning and following people who run their own businesses, who build their brands up from the ground up, because they really know what they're doing, even if
Right.
they got no college like degree or none of that. It's like they built from experience, and that's really what, that's the valuable information. It's like when they're releasing courses and they're releasing ebooks and things like that to teach us, I take advantage, because it's like I would rather pay $20 to learn all this game than, try to get it from like a $20,000 course in college. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts. Facts.
it's really powerful things there. And then some people will be like, I don't want to buy a course. And like some people buy courses, they don't even go through it,
They don't
right?
use them. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't go through it. And it's like, because and this was in Dante's course as well, but it's like, because it's there, we don't value it as much. That's why people would rather, like, the people who take action on courses are usually the ones that pay for them rather than the free ones. So if I release a free ebook right now, like I just recently released a free ebook, I know, a lot less than like 50% of people are actually going to take action,
Facts.
because it's like it was free. So they're not
Yeah.
taking advantage.
Yeah.
That's why investing is really powerful. Like investing your money, then it's like you actually take it seriously. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. No, I feel that. Like, I spent I had actually got one of Dante's Akron courses. I got his 3 bundle to convert, like building a converting Shopify store, you know what I'm saying? All of those different courses, right? And after I paid that 100, oh, I made sure I went through that. I'm like, I ain't finna waste 300. Like, I gotta learn how to make this 300 back. And I think that's the biggest thing. We just have to get our priorities straight, you know what I'm saying, as a young generation. And You know what I'm saying? It's just a process, honestly, because we're taught, you feel me, go to school, like, go to school, you feel me, get good grades, all that good stuff, get a job, and then the money you make, you know what I'm saying, you can use it on whatever you want to, and then, you know what I'm saying, but then you got to go back to work. That's the only thing. And when I thought about that, like my pops, he worked a 9 to 5, and he told me from the jump, he was like, Keith, this ain't something you want to do. Like, I'm telling you right now, I be stressed. I don't really love it. Like, this isn't something you want to do. So when it comes to the brand, when it comes to what I'm doing, I just got a different type of, energy and a different type of passion for it, because I know I don't want to work that 9 to 5. I never want to put myself in the position to. And I think the most powerful thing is like being young, you feel me? All of us are 16. Some of us, like some of y'all listening, y'all are younger than 16. And some of y'all are only 18, 19. Like being young is so powerful. And when you really understand that and you really see, man, you have time. And like right now, we have responsibilities, but it's not the responsibilities we go have when we out of our parents' house and we got to pay bills and we got to, you know what I'm saying? So like we really got to use this time when we're young to our advantage, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I think mindset is so important, because it's almost like our world and our school system and our government has this one way of thinking, this one way, this one road to success. And obviously it's not working, because you still
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of people that are applying what you're saying needs to work. And not saying that it can't work and it can't get you to where you have a desire to be,
Yeah.
but it's not the most efficient way. Like we can still accomplish our dreams and goals and be who we have a desire to be and accomplish the goals that we have a desire to accomplish without doing the things that the school system is telling us. Like you said, like your dad said, my parents told me the same thing. They say, Reagan, you don't want to work a 9 to 5. And
Yeah.
so like now they're telling me that, like I used to help my dad and I used to help my mom with their own separate businesses. And I'm like, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to
Yeah.
work a 9 to 5. Why I'm working so hard now, using this time to my advantage. A lot of kids don't realize that being in childhood, like this 18 years that you have, it's a gift. It's an advantage, because
Real
some
talk.
kids that are in the position that we're in and are the same ages that we are, some of them do have to work a 9 to 5 and put food on the table and like have that parent figure name, or you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I feel you.
the kids that are where we are right now and that are younger than 18, use this time to your advantage, because it really is all about like using it to your advantage. I keep repeating
Facts.
myself through.
Facts.
All about your mindset. I love it.
No, but it's so real. And Nitty, one thing I wanted to ask you, like when you got into, being an Instagram expert and learning all this different type of stuff, and when you got deep, right? What's something you wish you knew before you got into it that, like that you could tell like maybe your younger self, even though you're 16, like
Yeah. I would probably say, so this is like something I've been tweeting about recently a lot and like trying to convey the message is like, before you trash that piece of content, post it anyway and see what happens. I feel like
mm,
that's really, really important, is
yeah,
because a lot of people judge themselves before they post something. They'll
yeah,
say, oh, I kind of stuttered in that clip. Oh, the lighting wasn't good in this second, like in this frame. Like, I don't have a good thumbnail image. Like, it's not going to look good. Like, just post it,
yeah,
and it's you got to learn that nobody really cares. Nobody, whoever's watching you, they don't care, because they're not releasing, most likely they're not releasing content themselves. So all they care about is consuming that content. Nine
right,
times out of 10, when you go watch content, you're not going to judge the person for the image or the thumbnail or stuttering once or twice. Like, it really doesn't matter. We're all human.
right,
When the cameras cut off and when everything shuts off, we're all human. And
Yeah.
it's like
facts,
we all do the same thing. So it's like
Yeah.
you should not care how the content looks or whatever it is. It's because you don't know what's gonna blow up either, right? So
you
there was
don't,
this one time I was about to not tweet this one quote, and I tweeted it was like, "Do it broke, do it scared, do it alone, whatever it is, do that shit."
yeah,
And I was not gonna tweet that. I
yeah,
almost deleted it, didn't tweet it. I tweeted it, and it got like 123,000 likes, and like
mm,
it went crazy, and I was like, I did not expect this to go crazy. I didn't
right,
expect this to happen. And it's like, you never know what's gonna blow up. You never know. And it's
yeah,
like that tweet brought in a lot of customers. That tweet brought in a lot of followers, a lot of connections. And it's like, you never know what's gonna blow up. Just post it. Just post it.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I was like that in the start, because I hated being in front of the camera. Like I was not the type of person to be in front of the camera. I would be so like, my heart would be beating out of my chest in 2019 when I was 14 years old, trying to get in
yeah,
front of calls and stuff like that. Like, I hated it. But like, people hear that now and they're so shocked. I ask people like, would you have ever expected that from me? They're always like, no, I would have never expected that from
Yeah,
you. And now I love being in front of the camera. You check my Instagram, I love it. Like I
yeah,
love being in front of the camera because every single day I did uncomfortable shit. Like I didn't want to get in front of the camera, but I did
yeah,
it anyway, and that boosts my confidence. You know,
Yeah.
doing uncomfortable stuff will boost your confidence every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. And Reagan, one thing, like we talk about that often. When I started like just doing my motivational videos, and I'll be recording outside, and somebody will walk past you, I swear I would act like I'm doing something on my phone just so I have to do it in front of them. Like, like I did it so many times, and it came to a point where I was like, "Yo, Keith, you have to get out of your comfort zone and not care about what nobody else got to say." Because like if you stay in that limit, like people are always gonna have an opinion. When you go on social media, like you see, you got people in the comments that support you. You got people in the comments that try to troll you, that try to down you. There's always gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about what you think about yourself. That's all that matters. Like you can't really be so focused on the outside validation. And that's what I really believe. Like one thing that I used to do when I had 0 followers and I had, you know what I'm saying, maybe I think on IG I probably had 1,000, right? And I was only getting maybe 100 views, maybe 50. Like people weren't paying attention like that. And when I say when it was that, I was cool. I could post anything. I didn't care what I posted on my social media. But then when more people started following me and I started getting more traction, I started to come into my shell a little bit because I was like, oh man, now I gotta be perfect. Now I got every piece of content I put out. Now it's gotta be A1. And I had to notice like the only reason you built it up to be where it's at now is by being your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? So you have to stay true to who you are and just post it. Like Diddy just said, like just post it. Like no matter what it is, no matter if you think it's lame, no matter if you think it's corny, like your corny video might blow up. I know mine did. And like my videos was, I go back and look at them, I'm like, yo, but like, you just gotta post it, yo. You just gotta step out of your comfort zone.
Really, because it'd be the raw content. Like I scroll through social media all the time, and it be like dumb stuff that just makes me laugh, and it's
Yeah.
just so hilarious. But it has like 14 million views, a million views, like 3 million likes because it's just funny and raw, and that's what people like to see. And
Yeah.
honestly, putting yourself in other people's shoes, like say for instance, when you're going through the airport, right, and you see somebody making a YouTube video or filming something for their story, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. And I just walk past. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me upset. It doesn't add anything or take anything away from my day. It's just they're
Yeah.
recording a video. So if you put yourself in other people's shoes and how they view you and how they see the things that you do, you'll really be like, okay, it's really not a big deal for me to film the video. Because I remember we were talking about that one time. I was scared to do videos outside in my neighborhood because we always have like walkers. And since I live in like a cul-de-sac, there's always people walking and riding their bikes. And I would stop the video. I would act like I was on FaceTime and have a whole bunch of dumb, like unrecorded, unedited, unfinished videos in my phone because people would walk by. But now I'm to the point to where like I really don't care. And honestly, they might need that motivation. Marquise, you said that. I was talking to you about that. And you were like, Reagan, I got to the point to where honestly I don't care. And they may need that motivation, which is true. Like it's a 60-second video. And honestly, you may drop some gold in their life and they may apply it. And now their life is better because you were making that video. So don't be scared. Step out of your comfort zone. Do things that make you uncomfortable because that's where you find success.
Yeah. Just like that. Word. And honestly, another thing that he like, what's one of the biggest myths? You know what I'm saying? Being an Instagram expert, creating courses, you know what I'm saying? What's one of the biggest myths of like your industry?
One of the biggest myths. There's a lot of small ones, like little details, like hashtags and things like that.
Yeah,
But I'm like biggest myth because it gotta be something.
right.
Oh, this is probably a big one. The reason why people don't get into the game is because they think they need 10K followers plus to start selling and making a lot of money with Instagram or to start building a brand on Instagram. You do not need over 10,000 followers to do that. You
Yeah,
know, there are people like 100 followers making more money than you just because they got started, just because they know what they're doing. That's it. You do
yeah,
not need a lot of followers because you can have 10,000 followers who have no clue what you're talking about versus 100 followers who are super connected in their relationships with you. Like you DM'd each and every one of them and they know who you are, they know what you're about, and they're interested in what you sell. And
yeah,
you can make more money with those 100 people than those 10,000 people. It's like you would rather, you would rather build a more connected niche down audience than just try to get as many followers as possible. That's why I say it never hurts to lose followers, because those people wouldn't be interested in your products or services to begin with. That's why they've unfollowed you. It doesn't
Right.
matter. They're not in it for the long term. That's why it doesn't hurt to lose followers. And that's why you shouldn't overthink it when you're not gaining enough followers, because it's like, focus on the followers you have now, nurture them as much as you can now, build those relationships that they'll never leave you because they really believe in your brand and what you have to offer, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I love that. I love that. Definitely. One question that I do want to ask you, what's one of your biggest failures?
Okay, one of my biggest, okay, that's the first thing that came to my mind was, so a lot of people know this already, but
Mhm.
in 2020, I released my first digital product. Prior to that, I had never like sold a product or anything before, because I was solely focused on building a brand. So from 2019, like August, September time, to 1 year later into 2020, August, September time, I was solely putting content out into the internet, and I was helping people for free. Just that was what I was doing day in and day out. And 2020, like August, I released my first digital product. It was called the Ultimate Instagram Blueprint, and that was selling for like $20. It was just an ebook. I wanted to see how I could sell my first product and see how it works, because a lot of people were coming to me saying, Nitty, how are you able to grow such a big audience? How do you know the ins and out of Instagram? So I created the product for the people who needed it. I ended up hitting 45K in sales. I ended up losing all that money because I I use this platform called Gumroad, and that platform, I had a couple problems when I was signing up for it because they knew I was like 16. So I started
Okay.
to use my parents' numbers and my parents' information,
Mhm.
and they were fine with it. They let me use the account. They were like, everything's good. And then they took forever to give me my first payout, right? And my first payout came in, everything was all right. So there was already some, shaky things, rocky things in the beginning.
Okay.
And then when I hit that 45K, they like slowly, a couple days or a week after, they they suspended my account, and they're like, yeah,
Word?
they they suspended my account, and they're like, yeah, you like, they just suspended it, and they're like, fraudulent activity, like, I guess, yeah. I was like, what is this because of the
Bro.
16, like, what's going on? Because I know real people who bought the course were in my DMs. I know, like, ebook, I know real people who bought it. It was not fraud. So
Facts.
I was like, yeah. So at that time, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, okay, let me. So the first thing I did when I found out, that's it for my 45K, I can't get it back, because I was emailing them and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, that's it, I can't get it back. I sat down right here and I started plotting out IG Empire. I'm like, I'm not gonna let this get to me. I know it's $45,000, but like, I'm gonna use this to fuel me to six figures. Like, I hit
Right.
five, I'm gonna six
Wow.
now. So that's what I did. I used it as fuel. I never take a loss. I only take a lesson. That's
Mm.
that's really, I would say, my biggest failure, but it's not a failure in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I feel that.
that's what really fueled me into starting IG Empire, and that's how I like made more money than I've ever made in my entire life in this year. So
Yeah.
far, and it's because of that one loss, that one lesson, right? And yeah, so I started. Then it started to come up again, like during the end of the year of 2020,
Mhm.
and it started to come up again. And they started stealing money from my bank account. I was like, what's going on? Yeah. So I was like, what's going on? Because this is not allowed. And so what happened was my mom waked me up at like 4 in the morning when my dad gets home from work,
Okay.
because my dad checks the bank account every day, because they handle my bank.
Right.
So they were checking my bank account, and they're like, Nitty, is $500 supposed to be leaving your bank? Is this amount of money supposed to be leaving your bank? I'm like, no, why would it be leaving? And they're like, all right, Gumroad's taking your money. So because the money they had given me, the payouts before, I still had some
Right.
money.
Right.
So they were taking money, and we called the bank that early in the morning. They stopped the transaction. They didn't take any money. And from there, we just ignored Gumroad. We blocked them, everything. But then later in the year, like around April, I'm not sure what time, May maybe,
Mhm.
of this year, of this year, May of this year, you know, like the Twitter circle I'm part of, there's a lot of big influencers and stuff like that. So they started to
Yeah.
talk about it. And you know Chris Johnson?
No, I don't.
I've heard the
Oh,
name.
you don't know Chris Johnson? Okay, okay, yeah, he's like this big stock guy. He sells stocks and stuff like that.
Okay.
He's
Hmm.
huge. He's like the he created Wealth Squad and stuff. I don't know if you see stuff about
Okay.
that. Yeah, so he was retweeting my stuff as well, and he was like, "Nitty lost her 45K," because I just commented something about it because someone was talking about something Gumroad or something. So because this
Mhm.
other guy was making money with Gumroad as well,
Yeah.
so I commented, and then it became this huge thing. The CEO of Gumroad ended up reaching out to me, and he didn't believe what I was saying until I showed him
Right.
the receipts. I showed him that they were taking money. They're like, "We can't do that. That's not true. I wasn't doing that." I showed
Right.
them photos, then they believed me. Like, are you serious? Like,
Yo.
and then yeah, so that's what ended up happening. I didn't end up getting the money back. I just got like 1K PayPal to me from the CEO
Ah,
himself, and that's what ended up happening. But yeah.
yeah. I'm
That's
I'm yo, that's wild. Like I would really be pressed if I put in all this work to build this course, this ebook, then I put it out there, I make my money and they take it. Like I would real life be pressed. I ain't gonna lie. Like you took it a lot better. But one thing that like I really want y'all to get from that, she said after that happened, what you said, you instantly started on IG Empire.
Yeah, I sat
Like
down here and started
yeah,
plotting.
like instantly started on the next project. Cause what you couldn't get the 40, you couldn't get the 25 back. You can't get your money back. You can't do nothing about what just happened. All you can do is start working on the next project to make the money back. That's it. That's all. So you got to take the L and you got to really turn it into a W. Like that's all there is to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know what I'm saying? And Nitty, like that's like real. Like that was so inspirational for me right there. Cause honestly, a lot of people right there, they would just quit. They'll be like, dang, I just made all this money. They just took it all away from me. They still taking money out my bank account. Like, man, like I can't even do nothing right now. But you turn that L into a W. And just to see where you're at now, it just shows that perseverance and that determination is really what determines how successful you're gonna be and really just how things are gonna go in your life. Like you're gonna get hit with a lot of road bumps in life, regardless. You know what I'm saying? No matter how good life is going, like road bumps are gonna come. You know what I'm saying? No matter how good of a person you are, no matter, you know what I'm saying, how good you are to other people, no matter how much work you put in, road bumps are gonna come. Cool. But it's
yeah.
all about how you respond to them. That makes all the difference. So, yo, I need y'all to take that from Nitty, yo. Like, if you take an L, it's not an L, it's a lesson. Learn from it. Start working on the next project.
She said it's not a loss, it's a lesson. I was like, whoa. She said I didn't take it as a loss. But one thing that I also want you guys to get is the mindset aspect of this. There's 2 points that I can make. First off, why does the world like automatically shut you down when they see a kid succeeding and when they see a kid making money? Like why did I get like 45K immediately just getting deposited into your account, but like why not just DM me and be like, hey, is this real or blah 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 blah? Why immediately just like decline my account? That's my money. But I mean, it's just the world's mindset saying that you can't really be successful or you can't really make money or you can't go to college. Like you have kids that are going to college at like 14 and 15 years old nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I should have started sooner. But it's all about your mindset, your personal mindset, no matter how much the world's mindset differs, no matter what mindset your family has, it's about your mindset. You have to have the mindset that you can succeed and no matter what situations you're in, and the mindset to immediately be able to jump back in and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I got this. I'm not going to take it as a loss. I'm going to take it as a lesson and I'm going to keep persevering. I'm going to keep moving forward. And I love that so much because that was not only inspirational to our audience, but that was inspirational to me. So thank you so much. Awesome.
Yeah. And Nitty.
I'm glad. Yeah.
No, say what you was gonna say.
Oh, I was saying thank you. Like I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys like saying that because sometimes it's like I wanted to shut myself out and not say like tell that story, but it's like the amount of times I've told it now, it's like I've realized how many people I've helped. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, most definitely. Because now when I take an L and I lose, you feel me, 500 on an investment, or I lose a K and the product don't do well, I'm gonna be like, what would Nitty do? All right, she working on the next product. She working on the next move to get some money. I ain't dwelling on the past. Nah, like that's real though. And one thing I did want to ask you, like, you're 16. You've built up this amount of wealth. You feel me? At this young of an age, you've accomplished a lot. You know what I'm saying? And how have you kept that hungry mindset? Like, I know for a lot of people, even for myself, like when I started getting a lot of followers, when I started getting more money, I started to get high in my head. Like I used to be like, oh man, I'm doing good. You feel me? I can kind of chill. I can take a break, right? And that messed me up. I started losing followers. Money wasn't coming in the same. But like, how did you keep that hungry mindset?
Yeah, for sure. Not gonna say that hasn't happened to me either. Like
Mhm.
I feel like it happens to a lot of people, but um I feel like it's an ego thing, if that
Okay.
makes sense. And it's also like looking back and it's like how far you also have to go. So
Yeah.
like the ego thing, my parents are the ones who are always like tracking how much money I have and stuff like that because they're the
Mhm.
ones that like have access to my bank account and stuff like that.
Right.
So they're always keeping me like grounded. They're like, that's nothing, like that's not enough, that's not a lot of money. Make sure you're not like letting that get over you. Cause like $60,000, like in this like day and age, like you couldn't spend that so quick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Quick.
that's easy to go and like people will think of 60,000 and that could be a lot to some people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But when you're coming from a place like I know my parents have financially struggled since I was like young, and it's like this room right here, I'm recording it. I would have never had like I was living in this small ass condo
Yeah.
when I was little. I moved here like what, I don't know, somewhere when I was like in middle school or something.
Yeah.
But like being able to have my own room where I can record, and this is my grandparents' room, but they went back to India for like a year or so, like a half
Mhm.
a year or so. But like having my own room to record in would have been like wow, like oh my god, I would have never imagined, like like
Yeah.
that's crazy. So it's like you look back at times like that and it's like I would have never want I want to make my parents proud. It's like I want to
Yeah.
make they work their ass off to build what they have right now so that I
Yeah.
can live a good life, like live a like even if this is still like middle class or I still live a good life and an all right life. So it's like I
Yeah.
look back at like how much my mom's has been through and how much she's been through, raising me and even before that. And it's like, I would be like, why would I not? Like, the least I can do is do well in school and try to do this business stuff. Like,
Yeah.
try to make money and do well in school. That's what I'm going to do is like try to become my highest self. And regardless, and it's like, if you look back at your why and why you started, it's
Yeah.
like, nothing can stop you. It's like, why did you start? So it's like an ego thing. It's like, why did you start? And it's also how long do you have to go still? If your goal is to stack up a couple M's, if your goal is to like, have freedom where you could, retire your parents, if your goal is to travel the world in your 20s, your 30s, and be able to do that whenever, you have to see like, where are you right now and how much further do you still have to go? Don't get high off that, whatever you just got, get back to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because like before you even start anything, you have an end goal in mind. Before you invest $10, before you invest 20, 30, $100, you have an end goal in mind to make $1 million. And until you
Yeah.
reach that goal or until you surpass that goal, you
Yeah.
should not be excited. Like 10K, good. We're good. We should keep going. 20K, we're good. 100,000, we're good. But keep going because you haven't reached that goal yet. And that's one thing that keeps me like grounded and humble and excited because I have an angle in mind and I have a desire to reach it. No matter how many bumps I hit, no matter how many obstacles I hit and overcome, no matter what I go through, I have an angle in mind that I haven't reached yet. And that's
Yeah.
what's keeping me hungry. The fact that I know I'm going to have this, but I have to keep working and keep overcoming obstacles to get there.
Yeah, it's the sacrifices. I think the sacrifices are huge. When I look at my parents, like my parents were teenage parents. You know what I mean? Like when they had me at a really young age. And when it comes to that point, like they didn't know what they were doing. They were still kids themselves, right? And their kids trying to raise their own kid. And just to see how they raised me, the lessons they taught me, and just to see how we're growing up together and how they helped me grow to be the man I am today, it's just like, man, if I don't go hard, what am I doing? If I don't go hard, I'm disrespecting them. You know what I'm saying? Like recently, my pops quit his job so he can work with me on our clothing brand, so we can go hard with it. So he can help me with my speaking, all that. Like he quit his job for me. So I'm like, man, if my pops quit his job for me, putting it all on the line, man, I gotta go hard. Like there's no turning back. Like I know one thing, it's just your why. Like Nitty just said, it's all about why you're doing it. You know what I mean? Every time I think about, man, all right, you're doing good, but can you be going harder? Yeah, I gotta think about my little bro. Like my little bro, he looking up to me, man's 4 now. He's growing up quick, right? He's got to get to the point where he understands everything that I'm doing. He's gonna look to me as a role model, and I'm gonna have to be the best that I can possibly be. You know what I'm saying? So it just all becomes, to your why, right? My pops quitting his job, yo, I'm going hard. My mom's still working her 9 to 5. Man, I be calling her sometimes and she be stressed out. Like that pushes me harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my mom to be stressed out. I want her living her best life. You feel me? Out in Dubai, Mexico, wherever she want to be. Like, I'm paying for the ticket. She gone. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Find your why and really find your purpose for why you're doing it. And that's going to help you stay hungry. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to you losing motivation or anything, that's really what's going to help you. But Nitty, we only got about, we only got about 7 more minutes because Zoom is going to cut us off. So what's one key that you would tell our young moguls? Like, what is your one key to becoming a young mogul?
One key. Trying to think real quick.
Yeah.
I would say find a way to invest your money and make it multiply. Like you are gonna, when you're young, you're either gonna get a part-time job, or when you're in college, you're gonna get a job or whatever it is. A lot of teens nowadays, they go get part-time jobs while they're in high school. I know a lot of like friends of mine who have part-time jobs. Don't get that money and spend it. And get that money and start investing. Like learn to invest. It does, like investing from when you're 16 versus investing from when you're 20. They're both great, but it makes a difference when it comes to compounding. Like there will be a huge difference if you start investing 4 years earlier. So start investing, and it doesn't matter if you want to invest into stocks, crypto, whatever, or if you want to invest into an online business. Either way, at the end, you should still invest into something like stocks and crypto and real estate. But like what my formula would be, like I'm not going to stun out, like completely like shy away from working a job. Like maybe I'll try it, as I get older, like I'm going to get a degree. I'm definitely going to try working a job, but that money is going to be used to fund the online business, and then from the online business into stocks, crypto, real estate. That's the exact sequence I'm looking for. So start looking into practical ways you can make more money and multiply your money, and not only just save it. You can't save your way to wealth. You got to multiply. That's what they don't teach in school. And I wish I knew earlier as well.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Hey, look,
smart.
I mean, ain't no better way to end it. You know what I'm saying? Like find different ways to get your money and to multiply it. That's a big gem. You know what I'm saying? So young moguls, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Nitty, I just want to say, yo, I appreciate you for coming on. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Like, I genuinely appreciate you for coming on, spending time with us, having this conversation. Because man, this was, you know what I'm saying? This might be life changing for somebody, and definitely was really powerful for me. So look, I appreciate you for tuning in and for coming on.
All right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys so much.
Most definitely.
Nitty, where can our audience find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Those are the 2 platforms I'm mainly active on. And it's just the same handle, just my first name and last name, NITI SARRAN, NITI Yeah.
Definitely. Sounds good. I most definitely appreciate you coming on as well. I definitely really want to stay in contact with you and buy some of your ebooks and everything, because I mean, I've been looking, like I really have been looking. I want to get into investing and saving and all that jazz because I'm ready. I'm ready to start learning and I'm hungry for it. So once again, like Marquise said, thank you so much for tuning in. Marquise, would you like to close this out?
Hey, look, y'all, I'm gonna have all of Nitty's, pretty much all her social medias, her ebooks, all that stuff. I'm gonna have them all in the description of the video. So if y'all want to get the ebook, learn from her, if y'all want to follow her on the gram, follow her on Twitter, I'm gonna have all that in the description. But look, young moguls, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Young moguls, we out. Let's get it.